Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices, and starting with the DAX here on the daily chart. Bit of a complicated correction here from wave 3 here, but we've been doing our best to work through it, and as it stands at the moment we're looking at it as an A and a B and a C wave, a D wave and an E wave here. I've had a bit of a contention if this low was actually in place here, so we still need to verify that particular low here as well. Let's move in and have a look at this area in here. So on the just on the 4-hour chart here for a moment, I've had this well, we've had this wave C here, and we've had this wave C here as a low. So this, copy this here, this would be here, and the same with this. So this has been the situation. So with this little move up here, I can still count it as being corrective, and it's still possible for it to move down into wave C here. One of the things that we thought that would be handy to sort this out would be this particular number here, the 12,200. If that, I expect the market to go above that, but we need to see if it gets support. If it gets support, then we can expect it to move up into the 61.8% retracement level here. So let's just go into the hourly chart and have a look at this scenario. So the way that I was counting this is that wave 3 here, an A and a B, and then 5 waves up. So 1 and 2, and then 5 smaller waves in here for 3. ABC for wave 4, yes, it does overlap this, which is a bit of a no-no, and then 5 waves up here. The 5 waves up here are 1 and 2, nice strong third wave. ABC for the 4th wave here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we should finish quite close in here. Yes, it can spike above and all those sort of things, but this little pattern here, we can call this the arrival, this the reaction, and then we'll call this the first high above the level. So really we're looking for that reference point high here. Okay, so once that reference point high comes in here, then we can take this here and place it here, because if there's, as a correction move, it should move all the way back, but as a more bullish move here, then it's going to peel off here in 3 waves in some way or another, and then move up again from here. So this number 2 here, the 200, will sort this either being the low coming in here or the low coming in, copying this and putting, well, I could use that over here too at some point, but just leave those two there, because the way that this would finish off would be having this wave 4 here coming in here, so wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and then down for wave 5 here. But I know in some of the markets like the AEX that we have a look at, it never broke a new low down through here, and also too this counts quite nicely as 3 waves here. So yeah, I need to confirm it, so that's what we're waiting for at the moment. So once we got that, just to recap this, once we got the first high above the level here of 200, then that becomes our reference point to go long at. We might be able to get a better entry than that as well by moving this line down to the second high, or even down here further if we can see that's the case. But at the same time, we don't want to miss any moves that's going to take us higher here. So yeah, that's sort of where we are with this at the moment, really. So I'll just sort of save that. The other markets are kind of same but different. Whoops, we'll come back to the FTSE in a minute. Normally go to the AEX. So the AEX is the same. So we can see here with this ABC here that it never pulled back down further. So on the DAX, we'd have to call this wave 5 here low, but on this market, it just doesn't make sense to do that, does it? So yeah, I mean, I could count this wrong here. I could count this up as 1 and 2 here, and then all of the 3rd wave up here, a 4th wave and a 5th wave here for the A wave, or even wave 1, and then an A and a B and a C here for this B wave here, and then at the same time we're looking for 5 waves to the upside here. And once again, we also came to the same conclusion here as well, is that once we've got our first high above the level here as a reference point, then we can use that here to that will obviously be the top of wave C of 4 here, but at the same time we can use it for a trigger. So once the market falls back, and if it moves up through it, well, then we need to be long at that stage. So that's the safest way I can handle that. You might be long in here already. This would have been a nice setup too. So a move up here, coming back and checking on this here, and then just drawing a line through here would be another way to move in here nice and safely as well. But in the bigger picture, that's what we're looking for. On this sideways pattern here is same for the FTSE, slightly different though. Also looking, well, the same thing really. So I've shortened this one up here. In this case, I've used the wave 3 low here, and because I wanted to tune it into the other markets, and an A wave here, an A and a B and a C for the B wave here, and then looking for a move up through here. And once again, we can look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here, and moving up here. And technically, day traders can trade long through here on a break of this one here. Just be mindful how far it's actually going to take, because we're looking for one more move up here and then a move down from here. But at the same time, I'll just leave you to think about that one for a moment. Just anyway, it's a little quick trade up through to here. Also use the levels here. So we've got 10, 20 and 30 here. So we've got 50 here, and then 80 coming into group 2 here. Let's see. So all this will be resolved soon. So we'll see. Otherwise, we'll get this coming down. If that's correct as a wave 4 here, then we'll be looking for 5 waves down, making a new low in this space here. Otherwise, we'll look to move further up. The MIBs move further up, doing reasonably nice trend to the upside here. So just on study on the 4-hour chart here, from this wave 4 here, we've been counting down as 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, and then down for 5 here. Now I know that, as I mentioned before, this hasn't really concluded in a nice 5-wave sequence here. In fact, it counts quite nicely as a B wave. So it is possible that this wave 3 can be correct here, then an A wave here, a B wave in 3, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 5 here, finishing here, and then moving down. So this wave 4 could still be over here, literally. But, you know, it's getting a little bit, I mean, when I compare wave 2 here to wave 4 should be a bit more complex, and it is more complex than wave 2. But this is, using all of this as wave 4 is just too complex and also moving too high. The other point too here is overlapping wave structures. So if we call this wave 1 here, and then the market moves up through here, then it's creating overlapping wave structures with wave 1. And if we had this as wave 4 over here as an A wave, B wave, and 5 waves for the C wave here, then it's overlapping, so not the case. So we do have long trades in here. One of the other things that we've got to think of here is that I can call this wave 1 here. Well, do this a couple of different ways. So wave 1 here, and wave 2 here, and then wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and wave 5 here. And then we would come back to, if we pulled up into this space here, then the market can come back into this space here as an ABC correction before moving off again. So the other thing here is that this may be more bullish, and we could look at it in terms of wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then wave 3 here. Just fix this up a little bit. The other point here too, there's, I mean, just another little little spanner in the works. It's also possible to have wave 2 sitting under this little space, under this low here. I'm aware of it, I'll come back to it, but it will sort of help me later on if there's an extra wave in there in that space. So I don't know how to count this up here. Sure, I can see that we've got 5 waves here, corrective wave. We've got 5 waves in here. I can see that we can count this as corrective. We're looking for a move to the upside. We wanted to be positive above the 21 here. So with my indecision being final, so to speak, at least we're taking the trade signals in the right direction. So even though I don't have a full grasp or a lot of confidence in the actual structures here, we are doing all the right things at the right time within all of this. So we'll continue to, I'll just prepare these here while I'm here. Yeah, and I'll just save that. So just to recap here before I go on, it's possible to count this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and probably even 1 and 2 here. It's also possible to count it as, I think I've got it on the 1 hour chart with just 5 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here. So if that's the case, then if this is the case here, because we need strategy, you know, that's the we need to find a balance point on everything. So let's, I'm not sure how far that will go up. I have to check that, but it looks like it wants to go up. Well, that depends. We'll take it to here, but we'll adjust it later. But we've got a stop here. Now, normally would move the stop up to here, but I do need to see how this pans out here, because if there is going to be some sort of corrective move back in here, we want to be able to accommodate that. We don't really want this long trade here turning into a loss over here either. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to look to take some profit. So like I mentioned before, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm happy with that there actually. Let's just get some other little guys in here. Yeah, I'm happy with that being here as wave 4 or wave 2. I'm just focusing on this one here for a second. Let's bring these guys across. So I can see that we've got 5 waves in this little structure here, so that's cool. And this move here would be one of the next degree higher. So if I just copy this here, we'll make that black. We'll make it a tad smaller and copy that 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops. 5. Oh. 5. There we go. So you can look at this as wave 1 here, wave 2 here, or wave 2 could be in here. I'm not quite sure about that just yet. I'll go to here. That will make it conservative. So we'd still have wave 3 up here, wave 4. So we still got a way to go up here, which is nice. So even then, that would make at 25, that would make that roughly wave 3 here, and then wave 4 coming back here. So we're okay for a while being long, okay, until we speak again. So we should see something like that there. I mean, the important things here are 21,000, that's fine, and you see how this has come back and tested it. So this is the retest. The breakout's important, but the retest is more important. Well, in fact, they're all important. They're all part of the process. So the other important number up here is 3 here, the 300. If this becomes support here, 300, then you can be assured of the market, well, 95% of the time. If that becomes the tested support, then we're moving up to 500. But also the good thing about this though is that if we get support on top of 300, then what the number 3 does, it separates the pull from this the closest largest number here. So it's likely that we'll even go higher from that point. So we may not pull all the way back here as well. So that's a good thing too. So I'll just remove that. But I'm going to keep this as the 5-wave structure here as a possible count here in this story here. So let's just see how we go so far. I mean, if you're going to take some profit, then here would be this number here, the 21,500. Yes, the market can go higher and so on, but that would be the place to take part profit. So let's just put a couple of P's there, and only do it if you're sort of stressing out, you know. Otherwise, we'll stay with the trend. But that will help us. That will help us. I mean, even if it's 25% profit or something, it'll help us manage this stop better, because we don't want to get stopped out at the beginning of the trend. We'll look stupid. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.